My name is Earl McWilliams.
Earl McWilliams.
Good evening. I'm really sincerely grateful, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the committee members for this long marathon session. I certainly support Representative Keeble's bill. I particularly support the expansion of the board to 9 members, as this will make the citing process more democratic and more representative of the real interests of the people. I live in Burrillville. I was born and raised there, but for the last 80 years our family's had a summer place right across the border in Killingly. The two towns have a lot in common. Both towns are home to beautiful, pristine streams and forests and lakes. Both towns have relatively low incomes. Both towns have relatively small populations. And both towns, I think, are more vulnerable because of that. We lack political power. And both towns are being targeted for power plants by governor-appointed siting boards. It's 4 members, I think, in in Connecticut, and I think it's 3 members here. Burrillville already has a power plant. Killingly already has a power plant. And both towns are now being threatened by the imposition of these 500 megawatt power plants. Another town, Putnam, is being considered for a power plant. Within the next 3 years, we could see 5 fracked gas power plants within a 20-mile radius between northeastern Connecticut and northwest Rhode Island. Given the prevailing west and northwest winds, Rhode Island will be in the direct path of tens of thousands of tons of airborne hazardous pollutants, which will poison our state for decades to come. The clustering of power plants in northeastern Connecticut and northwestern Rhode Island constitutes a great environmental injustice, the harm from which will be visited on Rhode Island is for generations. So I sort of stayed on topic, and I was fairly brief. I just want to make one more point. I got a hold of the letter of intent between Pasco Utility District and Invenergy, and it makes real clear that Invenergy, the way they see it, the treatment facility is going to be constructed and operated by the Pasco Utility District. In one part, this is Invenergy speaking. Invenergy will not be liable for any condition, occurrence, or presence of hazardous materials in well 3A or affecting the water emanating therefrom and or the toxicity of the water from well 3A generally. They want nothing to do with that treatment facility because they know the problems that it's going to cause. And that wasn't really on topic, but I want you folks to know that, because that's not a document that you might be apt to see, this letter of intent. But it makes really clear what Invenergy intends to do up there. I really support this bill, and I hope that you will support the bill, because it will strengthen, I think, the democratic process in the state of Rhode Island. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McWilliams. Any questions from